garden friends, welcome back. We are today going to do what I promised before, and that is make a succulent planter with this broken terracotta pot. So let's go shopping for our little hens and chicks, our little Sempervivums succulents to put in our little display or container. Okay, down here is where I have a bunch of them that have just been doing great. And there's some different varieties down in here. Now you see this one here, it has the tips with the red. And this one, it's a little bit different. It has some red on the tips too, but they're much bigger leaves, I guess you would say. And then over here, this is one of them. It's called Sugar Sweet something or other. It's got the fuzzies, and it looks like it's coated with sugar. And then this one that's just really red. And I just have one of these. Let me see if I see a baby coming off of it. Now that baby's coming off of this one. Not that one. So I don't know if I'll take that one up. I think I have some of those in the greenhouse. So this one looks like it's a larger one of this one. So I'm just checking around, and look at this one. This one has just barely the tips have the red on them. So let me see, that one's kind of soggy. Here's more of the little sugar. I can't remember what it was called. I'm sure I have it in my thing. Is that a baby coming off of something else? Here, let's see. But it has these two little babies I could use too. And I have a golden one over here. Now some of them that are fancier colored. Let me see, where's that golden? Well, it's not very golden right now, but this turns into a pretty golden color in the summer with lots of sun. So that one is really pretty too, but it doesn't have any babies coming off of it. So I don't know about that one. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and or share with your friends. So we will get rolling. This is the terracotta pot that I had made. One of those little heaters they show with a smaller terracotta pot on top of a candle. Sorry, this had water in it, just got it from outside. And then you have the larger one over top of it, and you have, did I say, the candle in it, and you light the candle, and it's supposed to create heat. Well, I did that here in this greenhouse, and it did not heat it up, worth beans. So it was of no benefit in here as far as providing heat. It didn't raise the temperature even 1 degree, so either this is too big of a space for something like that, or maybe it just has too many air gaps. I don't know. But it didn't work, so it wasn't worth the space it took up. But when I was trying to use it, it broke. The heat, though you'd think if this got hot enough to break, you know what I did? I was thinking, okay, the candle didn't put out enough heat to do anything. So I put my alcohol stove in here and then did it. And that's what created too much heat for this pot to withstand. So it cracked and broke, and now I have something to display or make my display with, which is great because the way it cracked is perfect for what I have in mind. So first of all, I lined the bottom hole with this. So this will prevent the hole from plugging up from soil washing into it and keep the drainage very, very good. Good drainage. Good drainage is essential for succulents. This is just regular general purpose sand that I am putting in here. It's got a lot of grit in it. It's very wet because it's been out. We got 5 inches of rain last week. So yeah. Now I don't know how much of this I want to put in here. I think a little bit more. And before I go there, I want to put in one of my succulents. Now I showed you about where I got them out in my garden, but I also had some in pots like this already. So they're already rooted and doing good. Now this one is the shimmer sugar that I want to use, but it's not in a pot already. Now this one, obviously, look, it went through and it was going into the ground, but there was something else in here that didn't make it. So I don't know if I want that on the bottom Or I could put this one on the bottom that already has little babies draping, and it has one of the red ones in it. Yeah, I could pull the babies off and use those to get started, let them root. So I don't know, do I want that one? Do I want a larger one, or even this one? Now this one, you see these little ones right here? That's called green wheel, I'm pretty sure, because it's real tight and what have you. And that might make a good one. But I was also thinking of up here to do that. So that is a decision I need to make right now. I have a couple sedums here as well. And I have some others that need to root. This one, I let it dry out for a couple days. They say it's a good idea when you pull the succulents out to let them harden off. I don't always do that, I admit it. And so far I've maybe gotten fortunate that they haven't went over. I'm looking around for more that I could maybe pull from. Okay, so I need to make that decision. Maybe I'll do this one, because it seems to have an array in it, and I just need to get it to come out of the pot. So I may need to run a knife along the edges to loosen it up. It's just between the soil and the edge of the pot. I don't really want to break this pot, though I could. It's not like I think they're $2 or something. The last time I bought them, I haven't bought them in a long time. Great, so it's coming out in a whole big clump. So it's already rooted. I don't have to worry about, whoops, that one came right off. That's okay. These rooting. They do got a few dead leaves I could prune off. So I need to fill that up a little bit. I'm going to put some soil right there and then lean it on there. There. And there's soil underneath of those. Yep, soil underneath those. So there we have that one. Pull it out a little bit. Good. We're good here. So then I'll put some more soil in here. I'm going to do a mix of soil and sand. I've had a lot of these are just in soil. There's no sand. And so this potting soil, if you have a good quality potting soil, yeah, there's usually sufficient drainage in it, even for if you don't get too much rain, even for succulents. So I'm going to put a little of this in there, the sand, just to bring it up. And I'll see if it's the right height, because this pot is also cracked. This is, I think, the inner pot when I made my heater. Yeah, it's all black in there. Where's that? There was a huge crack in it. I had thought of breaking it so you could see it. So if I put that right there on top of those succulents, and then I can maybe put some sedum back here. Usually it's going to be facing one way because you want to see this display. So back here, I would do something with maybe with the sedum so they drape over. That reminds me, I do have some lemon coral sedum out there that I can put back there that would do really well. I also have, this is tricolor. It doesn't look like it's in great shape, but that's just because of the season and not because it isn't in good shape. So now I have another one of these to put down in this pot. I really wish that one would have broke. Let me look and see better where that crack is. Aha, that's just one crack that's right there. And there's no guarantee it would crack or break in a way I would like it to. Wouldn't you think it'd be neat if it had a break here and then I could have more of a display? I could chance it. I could hit it and maybe see if that would finish breaking, because it's going like this and there's a crack there. I guess I could try, right? What could it hurt? So all I'm going to do is hit it between those two cracks. And I may totally regret this, but I have some others I could put inside here if I want. Well, it was a little too hard, but it did break. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I think that'll work. So I still put the thing down in there, the mesh, and I'm going to put some sand behind so it leans a little forward. If it goes in, no big deal. Okay, great. So it's leaning it a little forward and it's up against that. So here's all these pieces. These pieces are great because they'll come in handy. Like right here. I could put this right here. So it's kind of a gate. It's a little wide, so maybe I'll do it this way. A gate so I could put more soil there and more succulents over there once I get it filled up. And this side is the same. One of these could be over here. I have these larger pieces from the big pot that I saved as well. Let me get my hair out of my mouth, sorry. Alrighty, so we'll continue on with our little plug. That up there, that gate there, that's good. Okay, just keep filling it up. I wonder if I'll have enough potting soil. I'm running low. Might have to finish this next week. So for this to work, I would need to do something right in there because slug on it. Don't necessarily want him in there. Because to make it where you could have two levels, like succulents here and then succulents up here, you need a little block there. And it's looking good. And then up here, oops, I'm getting a lot of sand in that succulent, which I will take a paintbrush. I hope you're in here. I'm getting so busy doing this and having fun that I'm not looking to see if you can see what in the world I am doing. Okay, so this little bit of sedum can go down in there. I'll squish it down in there. There's a little pocket there, and then I can put a little bit of soil on top of it. Yeah, I need to get that sand out of there. I have this paintbrush, and I could just brush it out. And as it dries, it'll come out even more. And probably I might get more on it as I'm doing this, but yeah, because that will cause the leaves to rot if it stays in there too wet. But we'll get it out of there as it dries. And you could take a blow dryer, and as the sand dries, just kind of blow it out of there. So that is all good. This will expand. They'll send up babies and fill up this section. And let's see, what do I want to put? Where do I want to put this one? Do I want to put it right there or in there? Let's see. Now this has got lots and lots of roots. I want to clean up the dead leaves around the edges. You see how it has dead leaves? So I just pull them out. I don't always wear my gloves. I was doing that because I have my rings on. I forgot to take my rings off. Now these long shoots with babies, I just take them off for now. That one, oh, it's starting to make a baby. Let's see if that'll continue. Okay, so that's all good, and you can squish it. I could squish it down in here. Make sure there's good connection between that soil and that. This little thing right there, I don't like that one sticking out there, so I'll nip it off. Nip, nip, nip it off. Okay, that should be good. So what do I want in there? Now I brought in, oh, this is one of the sugar shimmers, and it already has roots on it, so I don't have to worry about it needing to harden off, so it didn't rot before it made roots. So that's what's going in there. And I could fill in with some stones. I don't have the little stones that I just love, and I may get some. I got them at Lowe's the last time. I'm just looking around to see if there was any. I don't even have my horticultural sand, which would be real pretty up against that. So I can fill that in when I get that. I just wanted to get this project started. I wanted to do something out here. It was a pretty sunny day. It got in the 50s. It's starting to, what time is it? Oh, it's almost 4, no wonder. You get busy and you lose track of time, don't you? Now this is such a pretty little sedum, and it looks terrible right now, but it's the season. It dies back. It's just got all these rosettes all over it. So I think that would be really pretty right down in here, down in this section where this piece of crock is creating a barrier, and that will fill in. Now I'm going to hold this here so it doesn't fall onto the other one below. Just fill in where there's holes, and it will also fill in as it gets established. Now this next few days we're supposed to get sun, so I can put this out in the sun, and then when we're starting to get rain, I can put it either in here or in the other one. I just don't want it to get too wet before these things get a chance to settle in, because they could rot the ones that, oh well, I guess they're all rooted. I haven't put any in here that aren't rooted. So, okay, here, this one, I did pull off the plant a couple days ago and let it harden off. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that in up here. So, and this needs to be filled in. Let me see if I got any sand left in here. Very little. So I'll let that go there. Now, one thing about it, these things are not too precious. If I want to take this entire thing apart and start over, because I think, oh, that would look better, I can. Or something else would look better here, something would look better there. It's not a big deal. So, and you saw I had plenty out there. So if I make a mistake and some of them don't make it, it's not the end of the world. Now these ones are fresh. Okay, do I have them all? I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything I had here. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and put this red one in up here. I wish the golden nugget one, the one I showed you that was golden, it just didn't look that golden. That one I think would be really pretty on top. Now I can come along and later on add the stones. I could even do the gravel. It's kind of big though. Now, all right, okay, this is the tricolor. Should I put that back here? I probably should. Let me see. Now I have a bunch of this out in my garden too, so if this doesn't take for some reason, there's no reason why it shouldn't, but I always like to have extras. Okay, so that was actually in a smaller thing. I don't want it there because I don't want it to be filling over. So I'll put it in on this side. I think I'll bring the soil up a little bit. I'm going to put a barrier here so that I can make the soil taller than these Sempervivums. Now, I don't do this with Echeverias because Echeverias don't overwinter for me. So I want something that's going to overwinter. Is that one big, better piece? No. So only if I want something over here. Yeah, I could do that over there. As far as by that. Oh, that I got to fill in back there before I do that. Anyways, like I said, right out of the gate, this isn't going to look like anything spectacular. It's going to have to fill in. And I like to let things fill in. I'm not into it for the instant gratification because I can imagine how well this will turn out when you allow them room to do their thing. Yeah, there's no sense in overcrowding things right now because then you'd have to pull it apart sooner rather than just enjoying it for the long haul. So filling in back around there, and I could actually pull apart this tricolor sedum here and put in a couple pieces around. So like one right here, tuck it in there, tuck one over there. Now this will come up and drape, and I can prune it back from here because I don't want to drape this way and just let it drape that way. And that, call it good. I feel like something's crawling on me and I don't see anything. Okay, so there's the sugar sweet right there, sugar shimmer, I mean. I have a clematis called sugar sweet lilac, and that's what I keep thinking of when I'm saying that. Okay, so these are a bunch of babies. They can sit out and dry out. And I can put this one last one in. I do want to get another green wheel, and I'll have to go get that out. This one has some red tips too, so I'm going to put it over here of this one. And just, so it has the roots going way down in there. So I'll clean up the dead leaves underneath and just put it down in here. I might even have to dig some of this out, make room for it. Yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. So that one can fill in. That's a pretty red. Now I didn't see any of my blue ones, so maybe it was a little more tender than these ones are, and it didn't make it. I am very tough with plants, so if they don't make it in my garden, c'est la vie. They are history. Oh, that one's chipped there too. Did I chip it? Huh, whatever. So these can dry out. I can use them for other projects. I had that of putting one up here like this to have something in, and I still could do that because this could easily be moved over and have, this one had a narrower bottom to sit in there. Yeah, who knows what I'll put in there. I'll just keep it there like that, and then we can decide later, or I could go get those green wheel, or they might come out with a new one this year. It seems like let me see, what's the name of it? Chicks and Charms. They always have some of the neatest colors that they develop, and I always look for them when I go to the garden center to get more. So let me go look and see if I can find another one of those green wheel Sempervivums and bring it on in here and tuck it in down here. So here, is it focusing? It's one of those green wheels. And oh, my sugar simmer is getting the, and this is the baby off that one I showed you in the pot outside of the studio or greenhouse. That was real compact and pretty. That the baby doesn't look anything like it, but maybe when it matures it will. And then this excuse me, is a sedum. It doesn't look like much right now because of the season, but this is really a pretty sedum, and it has some roots on it. And I'm going to tuck it back here. It's kind of like the tricolor, but it's a little bigger in leaf, or what, do they call them leaves on sedums? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to cut the tip off. This is how long it had grown out in the garden. It's in an area that I could pull it from. So I'm going to tuck that right back there. And this one that was so pretty, I think I will tuck it, yeah, I'll tuck it right here. Now these are all babies, mind you, so these ones, the green wheel, were in a pot, and it was just so overcrowded. A lot of them died, and had just a few babies, but it really had gotten so thick, and that's why they died, because there was too many of them in there. So that one I'll fill in a little bit more. Let's see how it does there. And this one, I'll just let it dry out and then decide if I want to put it up here or what I want to do. So I could put a bunch up here. Though it might be a good spot for, oh, that's right, I wanted the lemon coral sedum. I will go and get one of those. Alrighty, I got some of the lemon coral sedum. And I will just go ahead. I mean, the pot's grubby, but I can brush it down later once it all dries. Right now, it's just kind of pointless. I think I have just the right amount of soil left in here. This sandy soil. Okay, so get some of this. I probably should have put the sedum in here when it was partially filled and then fill it back up. So we'll put these down in here. Not doing this very well. Set them in there. See, that's already got some roots on them, if you can see that. And they should root very well. This is probably way too many for one pot, but you know, sitting there, I can pop it off and put something else there if I so desire at another date. But this basically will let me fill this up. And we're good to go. Like I said, it's very messy right now. So, yeah, I could stick this down in there too. Very messy. But then you just dust it. Dust them off. And as it dries, I'm going to leave it in here for a couple days. And we're going to get some bright sunshine, so it'll be warm in here. during the day. Pretty sure that's a green wheel down there. That looks like it. And this sugar shimmer should fill in real pretty. And these all should. And these babies can probably come off of here. And we'll let them air out. So it just has these ones here. And I can come in and clean it up as needed. There's still a bunch of dead leaves on these. Or what they call them, I guess it's leaves underneath there. Yeah, it's all looking really good. And I'm not going to water this because everything's super wet already and I don't want anything to rot. So I'll just let it dry a few days and then I'll water it in and that'll settle some of the soil as well. So, alrighty then. I know it's a little dark in here, at least it seems like it is to me. The sun's going down. And let me clean up this mess and then I can show you my finished project. And then we'll use our imaginations as far as what it will look like this summer. And you never know, I may come across some more beautiful Sempervivums, hens and chicks. Back. And I'll put up a picture of a little one I did. You may have seen it in one of my prior videos, or even if you went and visited the blog. That was a little one that came off there. Yeah, and as the roots fill in, that will become more secure. And let's take a good close. Boy, it's heavy. Can you see it there? Yeah. Maybe I should lift it up for you. There we go. All of that. And as it fills in, I will update you on our pretty little planter. Now this will not take a lot of water in the summer. And I'm going to put it out in the secret cottage garden, sitting on a log or something to hold it up. And it can be just a beautiful display and everything can fill in. There may be some other sedums I can put in here that will fill in and be pretty. So that, my friends, is a simple little succulent planter using recycled materials like broken pots and of course potting soil and just regular old sand that I had around here. And I went and foraged my collection around the gardens of succulents and sedums. And you know what? 1 minute. Let me see. I had gotten, and I don't know if any of these will fit. I just now thought of it. Let me see if it's in here. I had gotten some little miniature garden things at the dollar store one day. There's little paths. Oh. Isn't that the cutest thing? Wonder where I could sit it. Oh, too big. Oh, here's a little sign I could put on it. Welcome. Oh, a little bench. I've got to do a miniature garden now. I forgot all about these. Oh, look at the little bird bath. It has a little birdie on it. I could set that right there, huh? Or even on the top. Or even down there. Let me see. I got a little chair. Oh, wait a minute. I've got a little butterfly bench. That might look really cute right there. Oh, that would. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's a little well with a bird on it. Ooh. Okay. I can't decide, but the bird bath. It's a mini garden bird bath. Tell me what you think. Now watch in spring. They have these. I got these at Dollar General. And yeah, put it right down in there. I got to come and dust those off. Oh, that looks cute. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to lift it up and bring it to you. So there we have it in there. I think that's a cute little feature. Alrighty. Now we're done with our little succulent tiered garden. And I hope you enjoyed this little DIY project. It was just on a whim. I had thought about it the other day when I was doing my toolbox planter DIY, and I showed you that. Yeah, well, actually it's just a caddy, and then I just put pots in it. You could drill holes and make it a complete planter, but I thought about doing this and mentioned I would do that, and here it is, guys. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed this project, and I'm going to make a dish garden. You can call it a dish garden. I'll probably build a box and decide how I want to display that and what plants I want to put in it. And I'm going to do a terrarium using items not necessarily that are made for a terrarium, or at least the container. It's just something I have. I had bought it to paint, and then I never did. And the other day I was looking like that would make a perfect terrarium. So we'll do one of those. I love terrariums. They're just so much fun. Well, have you ever done something like this and made a little fun succulent garden or miniature dish garden? The first time I've seen the miniature gardens, some people call them fairy gardens, was back in the 80s, and it was in a Better Homes and Garden magazine, and they made different styles. They made an like a miniature Japanese tea garden with different elements, and they had steps going up with little pieces of stepping stones, and it was just really, I loved it. I'd saved the pages from that magazine for decades. Yes, decades. And I just loved it. And I've always wanted to do some dish gardens. In fact, I have a dish down here that I got just to do maybe a small dish garden. Isn't that a pretty one with the pedestal? So that's on my project list too. All right, that's it. Alrighty, I will see you in my next video. So come on along and have some fun. All right, see you then.